And here we go. We're here. There we go. There we got the proper background on that one. Get a little bit more light on the action. We're all good. Woo! What a day. What an incredible day. It's an incredible day. It's a fast paced day. That's what it really, truly is over here. And good morning to everybody. A few minutes into this thing. So I asked my mother in law what we wanted to talk about today. She said cheese. If you really want me to talk about cheese, I can talk about cheese, but I don't know that much about cheese. I like cheese. Get cheese from all around the world. That's kind of a cool little thing. So that's where that one goes. Good time eating that stuff within moderation, right? Everything within moderation. Yes, my health food friends out there. A good cheese, a good oil, good bread, good combination. Absolutely good combination. But here's what we're going to talk about today: intake sheets. Intake sheets. Now, there's quite a few different ways that one would use an intake sheet depending upon your personal situation. You certainly have the idea of what about employees? What about all of those intake forms that one would use, right? What is the most appropriate thing to do there? And is you using that? Let's get rid of that right now. We'll come back to that. But, what do you use there? You don't just say, hey, welcome aboard, right? You got to have that HR manual together. That's part of it. You give them a little bit of rules, regulations. That's part of it, besides the HR stuff. Also, expectations. Yeah, so there's one company going through this expectations of what they expect from their employees. It's crazy, actually, if you want to take a look at it. And I'm not mentioning company names in here. Go figure that out. Easy enough to figure out. But, company uniforms. What about company uniforms? Well, what do we wear there? And I think that's gotten a little bit more complicated here because all of a sudden the uniform changed. Maybe it's just wearing the proper the company T-shirts or the company logo on the jacket. Maybe it is, like flight attendants, an entire uniform. It changes over time without a doubt, but it's consistent. Oh, all of a sudden, this is a branding conversation, isn't it? Yes, it truly is. Now, what we have, because this was not written into the manual, what if you have the not head, let's go right to it. What about these masks? So we're telling everybody, mostly at least, right? You got to wear a mask, but what kind of mask and what's on that mask is where we're at with the whole thing. Thinking about wearing, not wearing, but what's on that mask? Is that mask part of your uniform? It's clothing, but if you're working in an office environment, something like that, can you wear a scarf, not wear a scarf? Yeah. Did anybody tell you what kind of scarf to wear, not wear a scarf? Maybe, maybe not. Again, that flight attendant, I think that answer is yes, because a uniform is head to toe. Most other situations, probably not. At office environment, no, I don't think so. It needs to be, I don't know, non-offensive attire. I'd be curious. We're gonna get somebody on here to talk about that, that side of it. But anyhow, but it's that thing is has really come up. But it's your brand. So everything that you do is your brand. Let's talk about that, and that includes these intake sheets. So if you're bringing on a new employee to your company, you're going to certainly give that person an intake sheet right from the get-go, right? About how to submit a resume, what the procedure is, maybe at least be nice about your hiring practices, expectations, things like that. But even when they come on board, boom, you get another packet, or maybe it's a digital packet, of information that shows up, for them to review. But that's your first impression, isn't it? When you're going to work for somebody, that's the first impression, real, true, like I'm now at this company impression kind of a thing. So all you solo entrepreneurs out there, small, medium-sized businesses, what about that? What about that? Not when you're hiring somebody, but what about when you're presenting outward? Boy, what about that? Proposals. Buddy of mine that's doing proposals in a different way now, which I think is fantastic. I love the approach that he's taking. But that proposal, how it goes out, and fees associated with it, and what the expectations are for the sit down, let me get to know you, versus mapping out some sort of a what can we do for you kind of a thing. That's kind of an intake sheet, isn't it? How that goes. Call it an expectation sheet. Maybe that's another word for it also. Referral partners. Maybe you have some sort of an expectation there as to what a referral partner is. I just filled out one of the social media sites. I forget which one it is, actually. I don't know which one it was. But they had asked on there about, I'm seeing if I still have it up there someplace. No, but it was asking about, what's a client that you're looking for, what's a referral partner you're looking for, and a message that gets delivered with that. Somebody spoke about it. I think it really is important to put that stuff on your website as about what it is. But that's part of that whole process. And then from there, you can then go through that scenario of material that you want to share with them. If you're using one of these web, constant contact systems, you could have somebody, go to your calendar and schedule a time. You could actually also have somebody go to your calendar, schedule a time, and fill out a form. There goes your intake sheet. Depending upon what they say or which way you're directing it, whether it's client or referral partner, it's there. But one of the things that I've looked at over here now is in my quest to continue to move Tomato Talk forward, is an intake form that I could use. I've taken a look at some of the ones that some of the other people have used on their programs. And there's a good amount of information that has to be, I think, should be included in that. Because look, I'm doing this program. You're doing your program, whether it's a podcast, a vodcast, whether you want to schedule lunch with somebody to sit down and look at them as a as a referral partner. Mike, I love your comments, man. You're all right. The but that expectations in now, granted, if you're going to sit down with somebody from a referral partner, might not be an intake form on the expectation side of it, but it really should be one that that person, especially if you're looking to go into more of an arrangement, hey, I'll refer you, you refer me, maybe one of these networking groups and things like that. But you should be really clear as to who it is that you are looking for as a customer. And also from a referral standpoint, what you would like to see happen in that relationship. Look, those folks that I would refer to and from, try to make a point of getting together with them. On some sort of a regular basis. I'm going through realistically here because I want to keep this one, totally true to form as much as one possibly can. I have not done that as much. Maybe I should. Maybe on a quarterly basis with that. It's not a networking group, but maybe on a quarterly basis, really get together with those people to make sure that we're all current on different things. Certainly want to, and I have been building toward putting a base of people together here as part of that strategies of success of the vetted partners. These are people I would absolutely entrust a referral to. So yeah, I mean that's a different story. I'll formally get together, but I speak to them frequently, so it's there. But if I didn't know them and I was looking to build up a large referral base, then it's a different story. Then I think that really has become something that's important. If it's those people you have been working with forever and normally get together with, does not necessarily have to be there. But same thing holds true on that form, that sheet, is that if you're somebody coming to me, you want to get involved with marketing, maybe you want to do the vodcast kind of a thing, that would be me. But then when it comes to promoting it, maybe placing it in different places and things like that, you want to come back to that team. I want to make sure that you're very, very clear as to who they are and possibly what even relationship is, that I have with them as that pertains to you. Wouldn't you want to know, right? Are you being charged an extra fee to work with them, or you're not being charged to work with them? What relationship do I have with them? Is that something you need to know or don't need to know? No, but I don't think that, I do believe that you should be treated fairly, on that. And no, right? because look, what's to stop you from going to them directly, right? So I think it's really important that you understand that, and that's the relationship I have with them, is that you're not paying anything extra for that. Absolutely not. So that's where that one goes. All right, so let's take a look. I got that screen share thing coming up. I want to do that right now. Let's going to add this in over here. So this is a site, and I'm going to flip over to it completely. This way I could see what is going on there. And let's throw myself in the bottom. I'm going to get rid of myself completely. All right. So now I am on the site. You should be able to see any changes I make with that one. Yes, you do. And that's good. So here, I lose the comments though. We got there. Okay, Mike, you're the last comment, so that's good. So free intake, client intake templates and forms. This is from 2020, so it's good. It's recent, relatively recent. This is complimentary. Oh, you could try it out for free. Watch a demo. All right, let's watch a demo. Let's go see. I don't have any, so I have no relationship with them at all. I just Googled it and this is what came up. So let's see what is going on. Oh, you got to register to watch the demo. Let's go take a look at some of the products that are there. We got team collaboration, process management at scale, business apps, resource, digital asset management, data connections. That's not exactly what we're looking for. Marketing. Align marketing teams, fucking report. No. Well, you know what? I think on this one, I probably should have taken a look at that one first. So this is not exactly what I was looking for there. So let's stop the sharing. We're going to come back over here. I'm back. And let's go take a look at what else we could do here. So let's go share. We'll try this. Share screen. Share screen. No. We're going to stop that. Let's close that out. Let's go with share slides. Your computer. I have no slides. Slides your tips. Upload a file. I don't have a file created. All right, so let's talk this through. How about that? So what do you think should go through a what do you think should be on a form, an intake form? Oh, I know what we could do. Let's try this. I'm sorry. Having a good time here today. We're totally alive. Totally alive. Let's go Word document, new Word. And let's go back to StreamYard. Share screen there. Chrome tab, Word. Document. There we go. Document. All right, cool. All right, let's make the font size here big. One. Boom. All right. So what should go on your intake form? Let's go. Logo. All right. That's good. And I'm going to keep this. Two. We got to figure out the format. Two. Name of program. Makes sense, right? Name of program. How much time do we have here? Let's see how we, you know how I think sometimes. Let's just call this data dump. 3. What's up? Oh, if I could share the screen and see some of your comments, that would be great. I can. I'll flip back and forth every once in a while. This way we could do that. So here, so it's up to you there, Mike. Just try. Well, I'll flip back and forth every once in a while. Just let me know if there's something there. All right. Name of program. Logo. Host name. All right. This way they know. Host name. Or named. This way they know that. Where to find it would actually be a good idea. Where to locate. That means you got to have your stuff current there, my friends. 5. Let's call it the purpose focus. Let's call focus of program. There we go. Let's break this down a little bit here. Focus of program. So we got message. So I'm looking to deliver a message. Message expected to deliver. That's not really right, but let's just get it going there. One of the things that I think what one should do too is that if you are doing one of these kind of data dumps, just do it. Just go. Don't second guess yourself. Expert guest. Industry expert. Oh, let me explain that one a little bit here too, right? So if I'm going to talk about, let's go back to StreamYard. It's a stream. If I'm going to talk about, might as well go big, right? Let's go big. Boom. If I'm going to talk about, and it doesn't really work. So if I'm going to talk about podcasting and I want to put myself, hey, Mike, good to see you. So if I want to talk about podcasting, let's just say I want to talk about podcasting, the difference between a podcast and a podcast and the effectiveness of both. And I'm hanging my shelf out over here as I am the expert. All right. Now, and I invite somebody else on that does podcasting or vodcasting. I better be very clear with them as to the fact that I am positioning myself as the expert and I'm bringing them on as what? What am I doing with them on that show? If they're a expert and they feel they're an expert in podcasting and I'm an expert in podcasting, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a give and take? Am I agreeing, disagreeing with that person? If that person does it in format A and I do it in format B, and I agree with them and they're an expert and I'm an expert, who did I lose credibility by saying that? You might. It depends upon how you're positioning yourself. If you position yourself as one of the people within an industry and your expertise or your mode of doing things is your way, and you fully acknowledge as a host that there are many different ways, and let's go with this. Me, I do a vodcast. This is the way I do my vodcast. The guests that we're going to have on the show, let's call it vodcasting for the uninitiated. That'll be in the new show. Vodcasting for the uninitiated. So I am a vodcaster in an industry. I could have on other people that do their own vodcasts, and I could ask them how they do it. How they do it and how I do it could be totally different. How I do it for me works for me. How they do it for them works for them. We could talk about the differences in that thing. You know what? We all have different situations, all have different time constraints, money constraints, of all the different everything. I actually think it would be pretty interesting to do that. But if I hang my shingle out as being, I am the expert in vodcasting, nobody knows more than I do, I can never have a guest on in that industry. Now, you could plug in your own industry with that one. It's the same thing. You're an expert accountant. You're an expert digital marketer. You're an expert coach. You can't have another coach on, right? Unless you're sharing thoughts in an industry and that kind of thing. So be careful about how you're presenting yourself. So it's very, very important to make sure that your role in the show is also very clear. So let's go back over here. And that's the stream. Let's get rid of me. And let's go here. That industry expert guest, industry expert with a host name. I'm just going to drop it down there. 6, your role as the host. I should have paid more attention to my typing lessons when I was in elementary school. I think it was either 5th or 6th grade. I was like, I'm never going to learn how to, I'm never going to use typing ever. Why do I have to learn this? Trigonometry, I had to learn how to build a bridge. I never built a bridge either. So, but who knew about the typing, right? So you folks that are in those younger age brackets, you never know what you're going to need when you learn today in the future. Never would have imagined this one. Anyhow, so your role as host, that kind of thing. Length of show is nice. Length of show, 8. Here's a big one. Record or not to record? That is the question. Now let's go recorded or not. In other words, edited or not. Let's go back over here. We'll talk that one through a little bit. And this way I can see how much time I got left. Got another 8 minutes or so. All right, boom. Let's remove that. I'm going to add me back on to record or not to record. That is the question. All right, Mike, we're going to put it, Mr. Casalati, we'll put it in your terms. And I love your photos, by the way. So, please, it's to Photoshop or not to Photoshop. There is the question. So if you got your camera, you're out there taking a photo, real life photo, and you don't edit it at all, that is real, true, what it is. That Flip Wilson side of things. Yeah, I'm that old. What you see is what you get. It may not be your best product. I did this live. It may not be my best product, but I just like doing it live. So it goes that way. Share the flubs the whole way through. Share a whole lot of things the whole way through. If I'm posting photos on Facebook, hey, I'll crop it. I put a picture up of a rabbit in the snow the other day. Can't believe how many people commented or like that one. But still, I cropped it, for the thing. So it's edited a little bit. Okay. If it was something a bit more formal, like logo or, something like that you're going to use on your website, you're editing it. Editing, Photoshop, call it what you will. What about your program? Do you edit or don't edit? It's a decision you need to make about your show. It's your show. But that is an absolute item of interest for your guest. It comes up all the time. Brian, I want to be a guest on your show. That's fantastic. Bob, I look forward to that. Do you edit it? Good question. So I personally, I have not edited this program. I've started recording some of them and playing out the recordings. That allows me to get additional guests. Okay, but it's still live to tape. That's the way we're going to phrase that one. Live to tape. So in other words, yeah, I definitely record, but I'm still not editing. So when I had on David was the first person that I recorded one with. We did it over the weekend, then I played it out on Monday. Gave me the ability to market it, which I never was able to do before. Not really. To say, hey, David's going to be on Monday, as opposed to David mentioned this. This will really be of interest, or be able to put a little clip in there of what you would. So for me to promote it a bit more to generate a little bit more interest that comes along with it. So there is definitely a benefit to recording it. Is there a benefit to editing it? Yes. Is there a negative to editing it? Yes. So, Mr. Casalati, let me respond to your question over here. Here it is. There it is. See, now I know how to do that one. Oh, good, you're on the bike out of Montauk. Nice. I got a bike that's for local stuff. I got to get a road bike. We'll go for a ride one of these days. And then we could go into this in huge depth. But that one. So the question is, do you feel your guest would want it edited? And the comment that I've gotten so far is, no, they were fine with me not editing it, but I never gave them the choice. So to really answer that question, I don't know. I truly don't know. When I was doing the Blog Talk radio show, that was years and years ago, I would get people that I didn't know. I'd have them on. Now, who were the people? And here's your follow-up question, Mike. The question is, who are the guests that I have on? So I lean more toward yes. Yeah, here's the other one. Yeah, there you go. And then we'll get rid of that one. A long conversation heading out to the East End. I did that once before. My longest bike ride so far has been 66 miles. I started in Farmingdale, made it out to Sag Harbor. But it's been a while. And I also want to get into, I want to do a long bike ride as an aside on that one. So the guests, who are your guests? So now there are guests that would never do my show live. That wouldn't do my show unedited. And there are others that would. So who would? And who are the folks that I'm looking to have on this kind of a thing? Tomato Talk, right? Advancing through obstacles. Also, more of the people that I know, personally know, and more of the people that I've gotten to know through Facebook or LinkedIn are either into marketing, so they're outwardly focused people, or they're speakers, folks that are training to be speakers, or involved with Toastmasters, so they're very comfortable, or they're comfortable enough with the public speaking that they would come on the program, or they're just flat out professional speakers, so they don't expect to get edited. So in that case, those guests, that category of guests, editing is not an issue. What is an issue, and that's something that I pay attention to, which I had to do with the Blog Talk Radio because the thing cut off. Actually, I was a 30-minute program. It cut off at 45 minutes. This one doesn't cut off, but I personally, I'm looking to make it a 30-minute program and really end at 30 minutes. So I got 3 more minutes left to go over here. So I share that with them. So the professional speakers, they can see the clock. They know how much time they have left over there. They're cool. All good. The folks that are on that learning curve, little bit more of a focus that needs to take place. Is it a bit more of a challenge on my side? Yes, but it helps me become a better interviewer. So I know to end the conversation with like that last question with about 5 minutes to go or so, depending upon what I've learned from that guest as they've been speaking. In other words, I ask somebody a question. If they take 5 minutes to respond to that question and I got 3 minutes left in the show, I'm not going to ask them anything. If they answer something in 2 minutes and I got 5 minutes left, I could comfortably ask them whatever I want. Now, same program. I had the same people on and I edit it. Editing it becomes becomes much more of a challenge. One of the reasons why I personally like going live, the only time I takes for me to do this program is 5 minutes beforehand, and in my head I got some idea most of the time, at least what I'm going to talk about. 5 minutes before it is to get the thing going. I do it for the 30 minutes. 30 minutes is over. I let it run a minute or two longer, click off, done, and I walk away. So let's call it 45 minutes it takes me. If I'm going to edit it, it's going to take me a lot longer than that, because even having a guest on takes a little bit longer because I have to speak to the guest in advance. But if I have a guest on and that guest knows they're going to be edited, I then will do the program. The answers become longer. It's much more relaxed. Now I got to bring it down to the 30-minute factor, that 30-minute time frame that I'm shooting for. It takes a lot. Now I have to listen to the whole thing again. I have to figure out what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. That's a lot of time. I don't have the time to do that. Or I could pay somebody to do that. That's a choice. So if you're going to have your own program, it's a big decision as to whether or not you want it edited or not. There are certain programs that we use where it can be fully edited. We can go into studio and edit the thing, to whatever you'd like. It'll cost you money to do that because now you need a producer. There's a podcast system that I use, one of my referral partners, where it is recorded, where it can be edited, but it's section edited. We're not taking out the ums and the ahs. Also, you record it on 2 lines. So if you and your guest talk over each other, it could be separated. So that's kind of minor edited that goes along with it. Or it's something like this where we talk over each other. So it's a big decision, but the decision has to come from with you. Sometimes it has to do with time. Sometimes it has to do with resources, or it's got to do with everything. But I can tell you one thing. If I am looking to have a lawyer come on, an accountant come on, or somebody that absolutely positively has to get it right, or is very fastidious, I think would be the word, in what they're saying, and they need to be really comfortable with it, and they know that it has to be exact, and they're not comfortable going live, they won't be a guest. So the other side of that thing, guests, do I feel my guests would want it edited? Some would. They would never be on. Some don't care. They could be on. Some think they don't need it edited. Probably do. That one's up to you to go figure out. So we'll continue working on this thing. Maybe we'll work on it again tomorrow. That'd be good. I'm 42 seconds over. Yikes. Don't want to do that. I'm not going to edit. But I am going to say goodbye. Mike. Always a pleasure seeing you guys. And maybe one of the days we'll actually see you. And Mr. Cazalotti, we're going to work on that bicycle. We'll go and do. That'd be fun. Maybe we get a GoPro stick on there. We'll do Tomato Talk on the road. Have an absolutely wonderful day, my friends. Remember, speak well, speak often, and ride your bike inspired. Live inspired, my friends.